Okay, I've been muted this whole time. Perfect start to the live stream. Welcome everyone. I was just saying that I've literally just hit the go live button as I saw it change from 29 minutes past 7 to 7:30. So you can't complain that I'm late, because technically I was about 2 seconds early. Will, welcome. You right, mate? How you doing? You had a good Christmas? What did Santa get you? Can't believe we're still doing this. You'll have to excuse me. I've not really prepared too much. Just, I think you can forgive me for the time of year. You're on time. That's crazy, isn't it? Can you believe it? Has everyone got themselves a little drinky poo? That wasn't a very good one. Damn it. Good evening, Glenn. Jamie, welcome. I had a good Christmas. Thank you. I did. Now it's time to get my head down and focus. We're so big things to start the new year. Basically, for those of you that don't know, my brother is back. He's back in the UK, and we had a big chat over the weekend just to see if there was anything that I could do to. Well, just to see if it would work for both of us, for him to sort of join the crew. And a smart businessman would be like, we don't need another employee. The business isn't at the stage yet where it can sustain 3 members of staff. Here he is, look, cheeky boy. Hello Daz, you right mate? Hooper, Wojtek, Dauntless is here, Codrin. Someone needs a haircut. Oh, how dare you? This is on purpose, this is. Does it look bad? Yeah, I normally get the sides normally look a little bit better. To be fair, it does look a little bit 80s housewife. I just need like a boiler suit now, like a ski suit. Here he is, look. The boy himself on that roof's great. We did a couple of weeks ago. Last week. So yeah, he's back. And there's other stuff that he could be doing. He can walk straight back into like a 60 grand a year job at the moment, because his last employer wants him back, and he's having offers from Sweden and all sorts, or Sweden, can't remember. So there's other stuff he could be doing, but we want to work together, and so if we can make it work, we will. So we're doing a big old marketing push over the next few weeks. Not really bothered about January. Happy to write off January at the minute, because there's not a lot of work in the calendar, but I knew that was going to be the case. So we had a little chat at the pub the other day, giving each other like some tasks. And I think this is going to be the year, not that I need like a New Year's resolution to start making stuff happen, but I think this is going to be the year that before I start looking at opportunities and all this stuff that I could be doing to help grow the business, or moving into different areas, or specialising in these services and stuff, before I start and like buying a new van and all that sort of stuff, before I start looking for opportunities, what I'd like to do is fix all the things that are wrong with the business at the moment. Fix the problems first, make a solid foundation, and then grow on top of that. Start a window cleaning round for him. He'll soon take that 60k job. No head down until the 2nd. I mean, we've already started getting our heads together, so we're in full swing at the minute. I've just ordered 2,000 leaflets. I've just made a new leaflet. What did you attach the working harness to on the roof clean you completed the other week? It was wrapped around the chimney breast. So Daz and another chap on Facebook let me know that this was the wrong thing to be using. So first of all, wrapping around and relying on the structural integrity of a chimney breast isn't the best idea, apparently. Although I'd argue that, I mean, on this pitch of roof, it's so shallow. We're not sliding on this roof. Even if it was wet, you wouldn't slide. And you're certainly not gonna, I mean, you could make an argument if you go too near the edge, you could drop off the edge and then yank it, and then you're putting all that stress on the chimney breast. But also, they said that this fall arrest system isn't correct. It should be more like a solid rope rather than an arrest system that unravels to sort of to absorb your fall. So these are sort of more designed for like cherry pickers and stuff, where you just hook onto the top of the cherry picker basket, and then if it does wobble or you get flung out, it's not like you're hanging yourself. It's like a gradual, and at that point you might have hit the ground. On a 2-story roof, you might have hit the ground before it's fully unraveled. So this is the wrong thing to be using, really. So I'll bear that in mind next time we do it like this. I think there's a few things I'd do differently, but crazy when you think you're being extra safe and cautious. There's still people that'll tell you you're doing it wrong, because you are doing it wrong. It's no one's fault other than mine. But when you think you're going above and beyond, it's still wrong. It's a minefield, isn't it? It's an absolute minefield. There's so much that you can. Anyway, everything's good. Waiting on my daily dose of smell. Are you looking forward to it that much? Jesus. Happy Monday, everyone. Darlo, welcome. Negan. I'm having to go VAT registered this year, taking on my second staff member. I saw in the Discord that you're interviewing. That's a big move, man. I don't think I could. The idea of putting out a job description and having people contact you and then having to like interview them and be all professional and like and evaluating someone's performance in an interview and stuff, and then like pick like weighing up who was best, and then it just sounds bonkers to me. That does it. I don't know if I could handle all that. I'm so lucky that I found Jakey. And it was just easy. You know what I mean? I think we'll be going VAT registered this year as well. Looking at the last 12 months. For anyone that doesn't know, I found out recently it's a rolling 12 month as well. It's not, I think the threshold's like 90k. But it's not April to April. It's from now. The last 12 months. So you've got to be on top of your finances like every month to make sure you're not going over it really without knowing. Get rid of the orange strap and fasten the carafe to the harness. Do you mean like a carabiner? Fasten the carabiner to the harness. Get rid of the orange strap and fasten. Oh, I see what you mean. I see exactly what you mean. So I don't need a short rope at all, like a tether. I don't need a tether. I can just use this. It's like a carabiner. This is a, what's it called? It's called a. It's like a an ascender. It's called an ascender. That's what I bought. So I could strap the ascender to the front of the harness through this little pokey, and then just feed the rope down the harness. There's no reason to have like an extra piece of rope. I can just feed the rope almost through the harness and go up and down like that. I see what you're saying. Good idea. 85k threshold, is it? Okay. I thought it went up last year to 90. I might be wrong. Probably am. Always am. I got myself that GVS Panther and before Christmas, so yesterday and today I was doing door to door for like 4 hours combined and landed 3 jobs and scheduled a big one for tomorrow, so thanks for a good shout. No worries, Wojtek. Congratulations. That's interesting. That's good numbers, actually. Good to know. Good night, girlie.
Say good night.
I've actually already said good night to her, but...
Oh, okay, not again then.
she being alright? What you at, bro?
Oh, I wrote this down. Yeah.
Good night, Whirly. Love you. So it's good to know the specifics that you were out for about 4 hours and you've landed 3 jobs. Specifically gutter vacuum jobs, are they? Because I've just, on that note, let me show you the leaflets I've just made. I don't know if you can hear the giggling coming from the other room. Cheeky monkeys. She's such a good mom. Right, you ready to see me leaflet? Oh, I pulled the wrong one out. Bollocks. Got that one there. That's the back. There we go. Okay. So, here's my new leaflet. Now, my idea before I started designing this one, and I was sat there pondering it for ages, trying to think of layouts and the best way to just advertise the service super quick. I like my old one. I haven't got a copy of my old one here, but my old one had information on the front, and let me just show you. I have got it here somewhere. My old one had stuff on the front, but it weren't really advertising any services on the front. So if you just took it from the photo of the, let me show you. If you just look at it like this, there's a lot of wasted space. Your eyes don't automatically go to the services because they're in black and they're in the small writing. When I'd give it to people, very regularly they'd say, is your number on here? Even though they've just spent the last 3 or 4 seconds looking at it. So the number's clearly not clear enough for some reason. I guess it's because the white blends in with all the other text on the space. Although it's got a picture of me doing some pressure washing, it's got big text along the top. It's not like you can't tell that it's not really displaying the services as good as it could. I think it's quite a basic leaflet. Too much text. So my idea with this leaflet was I want to keep the text to a minimum. I don't need all that text that says get in touch for a quote, or I don't want a list of services. That's what I wanted to avoid. The same thing with my van. When I was thinking about having my van sign written, I don't want bullet points and lists of services that people have to read. I'd prefer to just show them if possible. And so that was the idea behind this leaflet, is just make it look as simple as possible. And instead of making a list, I'm just heading all the pictures to say this is what I offer. So this is the front, super simple, logo at the bottom, both my phone numbers, and I thought I will put the website at the bottom because the website has got the contact form on it where people can actually get in touch. So if they don't want to ring or text, they can go on the website. That's got my reviews on there as well. So the front, I've got roof cleaning, moss removal, PVC cleaning, conservatories. I think these pictures are really good. I'm not, what I would have liked ideally is, it would have been nice to have like a roof pressure washing picture, but I almost think that this scraping one is almost more impressive than some of the pressure washing ones that I've done, just because it's so dramatic and the picture's like a perfect before and after. I looked at some of my other pressure washing pictures of roof cleaning and stuff, and they're not perfect for an advert. Some of them, there's always an issue with them, like the one had, the before was mossy and brown and horrible, the after was bright red and it was beautiful, but the gutters were still full of like muck and stuff, and there's a few black spots on the roof, and I ended up, I was sat here for ages in Photoshop masking all the little black spots and stuff on the roof just to try and make the advert look more impressive. I was like, what am I doing? Surely there's a different picture that's better than this. I don't know. It wasn't a bad picture, it just, I wouldn't be able to unsee it if I put that on the leaflet. So I think this scraping one is much better. PVC cleaning, it's not ideal because you don't see like a real dramatic, there's some, I've been doing this folder which I'm trying to put into the Discord, and I've got all these, see this before and after folder here, I have 2,000 pictures waiting to be uploaded to the Discord. And I've got all these different categories. They're not all going to make it to the Discord, but stuff like I wanted something like this on there, like this beautiful shiny, something like that, really impressive, looks immaculate, and then the before was like that. That would have been quite a cool before and after. But there's just not enough space. The picture's not big enough for you to be able to see like a dramatic difference. And then I also thought about, this one's like super dramatic. This one's crazy. And then I've got the after picture. And the after picture's great, but there's still some staining on the gutter, and I didn't quite get in that clip there and stuff. So it's all little things that have annoyed me that I've been like, no, I can't put that on a leaflet because I'll never unsee it. And I've ordered 2,000 of them, so I needed it to be right, really. So that's the front, and then the back looks like this. And other than Callum not wearing a harness here, I think this one's pretty good. I purposely left out things like ceiling, like I could put in like tarmac restoration, some really impressive photos of some rolling on some tarmac paint. I could do like a driveway, a picture of a driveway before and after maybe. But I think this does a good job of just, like, clearly I do driveways because I'm doing pressure washing, but I think this does a good job of advertising all my services in a nice, quick way. You don't have to spend too long looking at it, but you can see we get the job done. Any feedback on those? I mean, I've already ordered them, so you know what I mean. With the vacuum, that helps me kick off the business. Awesome, mate. I'm glad you've found a bit of success already, just going door to door. That's really cool. Anyone starting offering any new services for next year, or are we sticking with what we've got? Well, with I'd really like to push the repointing, which is why one of the reasons I've put it on the leaflet here, because it for my business, it means that potentially 3 of us could be on the job at the same time. So to have 3 of us on a repointing job, 3 of us grinding, 3 of us, well, maybe 1 or 2 of us cleaning, but then 3 of us pushing in all the jointing, compound and compacting it and making it look pretty at the end. Like we'd absolutely speed through some of these jobs. All I'm considering with the repointing is I really need to figure out how to lay slabs efficiently and well, where it's not going to take me half a day just to lay like 3 slabs. Because I've had some annoying experiences with last time I tried to do it, I pulled some slabs up that had popped, and they had like a full bed that I had to break through with a hammer and chisel. My hands were absolutely torn to pieces before I'd even started doing the repointing. So they had like 5 or 6 big slabs that I had to like break the whole bed and refill back up, and I don't know if that was the best way of doing it, but I don't know any other way because I'm not a landscaper. So I'd really like to offer the repointing because it's high ticket work. I've found the Nexus Titan that I'm really happy with now. I wasn't so happy offering all the other stuff because it just doesn't last as long. Like, it's not, you can't guarantee the customer that it's going to last very long. So I would always caveat it with like, oh, it's this is more sort of decorative, it's not structural, it's not designed to hold the slabs in place, and you've got to be a bit careful when you're pressure washing it, so we'll maintain it with biocide instead. And if you've got any wobbly slabs, like, chances are it's going to pop out. But if I can offer a more comprehensive patio restoration service that covers all of that, if there's any slabs, we'll relay them. And we've got a structure, we've got a pricing structure. If you've got this many slabs, it's going to be this much. If you've got this many slabs, it's going to be this much to relay. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're really good at cleaning patios with all the chemicals. We do a really good job. We're really good at the repointing. And now that we've found some proper stuff to use with the Titan, you mix it on site with the epoxy, it's going to last. If we can just check that next box where we can competently rebed slabs. I mean, what would you rather? Like, would you rather pay 10 grand for a new patio? Or would you rather pay 5 grand for someone to fully restore your patio and make it look almost new? Because that's the sort of money you're talking, isn't it, really? I think we can save a lot of money. I think we can save a lot of people money doing it this way. Like, for example, if you were to rip all this out and start again, like we charged peanuts on this job. I think this job was about, I can't remember what I said it was. I think it was about 1,100 quid to grind and repoint all this. Quite a big patio, really. That should have been about more like 2 grand probably. Now that we're using the Nexus Titan anyway. Got myself spreadsheets to track every single address that I've been to. Oh, nice. My issue with doing stuff like that is I don't know how long I'm going to stick to it. So one of the tasks that I've given Zach, my brother, is to almost figure out the CRM. And I've got a, well, let me show you what I showed him. So I've got a Google form. I just haven't been using it, so I need to like get back on top of using it. So this is the form, and what I'll do is anytime the customer accepts the quote, I'll say, instead of saying, oh, by the way, can you just fill this in, please? They probably won't. What I'll say is, once the quote's accepted, please fill out this short booking form to confirm your booking. And then they have to fill it out. And it's just a very simple Google form. If you go on your Google Drive and go on forms, there's templates for them. So it's like a contact information template, and you can just drag and drop stuff into it depending on what you need. And you can require certain information or have certain information optional. It's really good. And so I'll get them to just fill out their name, address, postcode, phone number, and which services they've booked. And then I can't show you the responses because that goes to a separate spreadsheet, and it's got all my customers' information on there. I've only got 12 on there so far because I haven't been doing it. But it's such an easy way to capture your customers' information without you having to fill in the form or fill in their information and get them to do it. So you click on responses here, and you can link it to a spreadsheet, and it'll populate it by itself whenever the customer inputs the information, and it's all free. So we really need to get back onto doing this because it's so powerful, and the fact that it's free seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Just used in the wild for a rebrand. New logo, digital art, leaflets. Leaflets are definitely an improvement on the old. Just hoping the rebrand looks more professional and helps with work coming in. Will, how far into business are you at the minute? Because I considered a slight rebrand from Smelt's pressure washing to sort of encumber a wider range of services. But it would be so difficult for me to rebrand now. It would take so much effort, all the fiddly little bits that I'd have to do, that it just doesn't seem worth it to me. And the intention's there. The intention is that we do more pressure washing work, really. So that's what I'm targeting. And by the way, we also offer these things, so I think it's good. And I can't think of a better one. I don't want to be Smelt's exterior cleaning or Smelt's cleaning solutions or anything like that, because it just seems a little bit generic and small-minded. Like, if this becomes something bigger eventually, which I don't think it will necessarily in terms of like having loads of staff and vans and stuff, but kind of like it how it is at the moment. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you want a beer?
Yeah.
Do you want a Mars bar?
You can eat your Mars bar on the stream.
I'm probably going to crack it in a minute, yeah. It keeps staring at me, I can't.
What you want, listening?
Well, I don't often eat on stream, but it's Christmas. Isn't it?
Streaming right now.
Yeah. Do you want to come say hi? Yeah, you have to put a t-shirt on. Here's your jumper if you want it. Okay. Where can I find your Discord link?
You left your t-shirt down
If you look underneath on the channel, underneath this video, there might be a join link, and if you can't find the join link, then I will have to post it in the chat, because chances are you're on Apple, and Apple doesn't play very nicely with YouTube. They seem to make a lot of features difficult to use. So give me just a second and I will find it for you. It's a paid subscription, by the way, so you'd need to become a circle member of the channel. And that will give you access to the Discord. Circle member or above. Just posted that in the chat now. Right, boy, do you want to come in? This is Luca, everyone. This is whose bedroom I've been streaming from this whole time. Well, say hi.
Hello.
Hello. What you been doing?
Just going on VR.
Playing on VR. You want a Mars bar? Save me from myself.
I'll save you from all your fears.
Yeah. Evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great Christmas. I did, thank you, mate. How much for the leaflets? So I've ordered 2,000. Are you going? Oh, okay. That was brief.
Goodbye, chat.
Love you. Can you shut the door, please? For 2,000 leaflets, front and back, and they're on P250. It's like a semi-gloss paper, I suppose. They were like £60 including free delivery, which I think is quite good. Seems reasonable. And they're the same size as the ones I had before, so they're A5. They're like this size. A6, sorry. Are they this size or are they a little bit bigger? I think they're this size. It's a good little Good size to keep in the van if you've got a stack of them. Good size to hand to your customer if they come over and ask for your details or whatever. And good size for the post box, for the letterbox. I think it's a good all-round size, that is, for if you were to go into a pub or something. Instead of giving them a card or like giving them a brochure, I think giving them something like this where it very clearly shows all your services, I think it's a good size. You know your work quality is elite, Chris. What do you mean? Oh, Photoshop it off. Yeah, I mean, regardless of the quality of the job and how hard I've worked on it, there's always going to be little blemishes and stuff that just will annoy the hell out of me. A lot of jobs I just don't post on Facebook and stuff because although we've done sort of everything we can to make it look good, it's still not perfect. I only really post the ones that impress me, you know what I mean? I think that good leaflet picture is going to be the one that captures before and after in one picture, if you get me. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So something like, let me pull it up, see what I've got for you. Something like, there was one in the roof cleaning that was quite impressive. You could argue that one maybe. You can see the chemical doing its job, although it looks like there's been some sort of spillage. The other one would be this one. It's quite an impressive, like during photo where you can see a very clear before and after without having to have two images. You are right, yeah. I looked at a lot of the roof cleaning pictures, and although they're good to be posted on Facebook and stuff, I don't think they're quite appropriate for a leaflet. Like something like that, just a bit dark. I'd have to punch up the colours a bit, and the gutters are full. I mean, you could chop the gutters off at the bottom, but I don't know. First day back in work today. Drove to McDonald's for breakfast. Went to park up and the brakes failed. Nearly went into a wall. Had to use my handbrake. The garage priced me 240 quid to fix. Oh, that's a bummer, isn't it, Spencer? I mean, you could look at it as very, very lucky that it happened in a car park instead of at the end of a dual carriageway or a motorway or something. How much would you say it costs to set up for pressure washing? Thinking of adding it to my gutter and window cleaning. Thanks in advance. This is one of those cop-out answers that you don't want to hear, but it costs as much as you want it to cost. There really are like levels to it. And there's a video on my channel. The very first video I posted was how I set up my business for 400 quid. And you can do it like that if you want to, but you're obviously going to make sacrifices when it comes to the quality of the gear and the longevity of the equipment as to whether stuff like that's going to last. But I recommend that you go and watch that first video if you've got time, because that'll tell you the basics of what you need to get yourself going. Just little things like a broom and some rubble sacks and dustpan and brush and a hose reel, like the very bare bones basics of what you need. And if you've already got established customers, I mean, what better? I can't think of anyone who's in a better position than a window cleaner to be going into pressure washing. If you've already got established window cleaning and gutter clearing customers that you regularly service, just saying, oh, by the way, you could even do this strategy that me and Rich came up with instead of saving up, or instead of just buying like a £300 machine, what you could do is say to all your customers now over the next couple of weeks or month or whatever, is I'm going to be buying a pressure washer at the beginning of March or the end of February or whatever, and I'll be offering driveway cleaning and patio cleaning. Like, can I get you booked in? And quote it there and then, give them a price and get them booked in the calendar there and then. Take your pen and paper, take your calendar or your phone or your tablet or whatever you've got and get them penciled in the calendar there and then. You could have 10 or 15 pressure washing jobs before you've even bought the equipment. And at that point, you've got a bit of guarantee, like a safety net, that that investment is going to pay off. If I was to go to my partner, Soph, and say, I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to spend £1,000 on a pressure washer and start a business, she'd be like, well, it's a big risk in it. That's a £1,000 you could be putting towards something else. But if I said to her, I've got 10 people already booked into the calendar, the jobs are going to amount to £2,000. I want to spend £1,000 on the equipment. She'd be like, well, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You've already got the work there. So you could do it like that. DW Smelt, my main applicant is a landscaper. DW, what does that mean? Oh, don't worry. My main applicant is a landscaper. I saw you put that in the chat the other day. I want him so he can help me with stuff like repointing. That'd be ideal. Didn't you say he's like 50 though? Isn't he pushing a little bit in terms of the age department? Not that 50's old. I'm just saying if you want him on his hands and knees doing repointing work. SDS drill to break the bed quicker. Have some sand and aggregate in the van so you can do any sub-base adjustments as needed. Laying slabs is easy. It's the prep behind it that is tricky. Yeah, you're probably right. A drill would have been better. Although, yeah, like the ones they use in the road, like one of them, but it's like a drill. It goes in and out like that. So the issue wasn't necessarily, I mean, the issue was the labour of breaking up the sub-base and the slabs and stuff, but the other issue was I was so shocked at how much sand and cement I needed to actually make a base this thick. I mean, the slabs were big ones. They were like 900 by 600, so they were big slabs. And the sub-base was probably something like that. And so imagine, that's probably like one slab is almost 2 bags of sand, probably. Good evening, Jake. Watched all of your videos and started watching live streams from the oldest. No way. That's a bit of an investment of your time there, mate. Jock Davidson, welcome. Loving the content. Keep up the good work, mate. A Scottish cleaner watching from Germany. Bloody hell. You guys come from all over, didn't you? Thanks, mate. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've had my van sign written Gleam Guard pressure washing with help from Luke. It looks really professional. I'm super happy with it. However, I've been asked several times if I'm a franchise. That's not a bad thing. Luke in the Discord. He does like graphic design, does he? I think it is a good thing, mate. Yeah, definitely. I like that idea. My mother-in-law has a tired patio that was fitted not long ago. Some sort of slate needs a good wash. All of the grouting has come out and some slabs have come loose. I imagine it's a relatable scenario. Yeah, there's so many people out there. There's got to be so many patios out there, and it could be like that could be like a local service. Whereas I think the stuff like roof cleaning and stuff, sometimes you have to travel a bit and it gets a bit annoying. There's no end of patios that need redoing. No end. They're everywhere. Leaflets look good, nice and simple, but stands out. Plus, once a customer calls you for one service, they tend to ask about the others over the phone, or they'll point out any problems once you're on the job. I was just talking to someone in the Discord about this, actually, about what's the best. He said, what's the best way to upsell your services? And I think he was asking more remotely. So once a customer's got in touch, how would you remotely upsell them? And I don't have an answer to that, really. But I think quite a good technique when you're in person, and it's so easy as well, by the way. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet and stuff, but it's as easy as just asking questions as you're walking around and taking an interest and finding stuff you like. It's like, oh, have you got fish in that pond and stuff? And just like actually engaging with the customer And just saying things like, have you thought about, while I'm here, we do gutters as well, like, do you need your gutters doing, or were they done recently? Or the other example I used was, I bet you've already got a window cleaner, haven't you? Or God, these slabs are a bit slippy, aren't they? Just saying little things like that leads into like further conversation about other stuff they might want doing. Or I was going to get around to that later on this year, but and instead of sounding like a salesman, like, can we do this for you? Can we do this for you? Like you're trying to add stuff to the list of. Instead of sounding like that, it can be more like, we can do these other bits for you if you need us to, like no pressure. It's probably cheaper if you get it all done at once rather than us coming back throughout the year to do them all separately. But again, like, no pressure. Excuse the pun. That's nice. So where does it land on your end? On your website? Edit him. Wojtek, do you mean that? Do you mean the contact information? So when they I send them a link, they open that form, they fill out the form and press submit, and then that just goes to a spreadsheet that's in my Google Drive folder. So my brother can access it, I can access it from my computer, I can access it from my phone, and I've always got my customers' details in a nice list then. And you can obviously categorize it, like, I want to find all the people who had their gutters cleared last year. It dates it all as well and timestamps it, so you can say, let me find all the people who had their gutters cleared in 2023. And then you get all those people with all the phone numbers and everything. But it's just on Google Drive. They're all free Google tools. Negan says, oh, hi Ethan. Sorry mate, I missed you. Negan says, PS, can we like the stream please? If there's only one way to pay this man back for all the great Mondays we've had together all year, let's help a brother out. That's very kind of you, Negan. It does help if you like the stream, by the way. It's a very valid point. 2 years into business, still sticking with what I'm still sticking with what I'm doing, but making it all look a bit more pressure washing related. Valid. Current logo and business style isn't overly obvious with what I do. Another note, have you ever looked at roof cleaning products from Smart Seal? They have one that you can apply and leave for 60 minutes and then it's clean. Would that be like a hypo based product? Probably is, isn't it? Yeah, Dad says the same. It's probably just sodium hypochlorite. I'd be nervous to use hypo on a roof just because the amount of lead and stuff, like the lead flashing and the lead valleys, and you might argue that it's more environmentally friendly to have that sort of going into the gutters and stuff than it would be to have biocide running down into the gutters. Anyone had the cranky cough virus doing the rounds, been hit with it for nearly 2.5 weeks. Thank God I'm on the mend. Some major catching up in January. Leaflets are looking fine. Thanks, Dino. Yes, I've had a runny nose and I've been sneezing non-stop for like over a week now, and I couldn't shift it. And I know of a lot of other people that have had it as well. I feel better today. But now I've got this weird, I've had too much beer over the last few days. I've got like acid reflux, so I've just necked half a bottle of Gaviscon. I have a big window round, gutter round, and I managed to get 10 grand's worth of cover my 8 grand equivalent spend very quickly. I have a big one. Not really sure what that means. I think I'd have to read that 2 or 3 times to understand it. Combat. I hope, I can't remember what I told you, but I hope it helps. Matt says, finally added a troubleshooting for any new members of the Discord, new channel, Discord below instructions. Yeah, there's a couple of people that struggle to link up their account when they get into the Discord and they don't really know what to do. So that's very helpful. Thanks, Matt. Nothing against them, but I'm declining anyone who's older than 35. Okay, fair enough. Into the Wild, Luke. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cool. Voidtech, yeah. It's worth having a look at, definitely. Evening, Regan. I'm thinking about adding solar panel cleaning to my business. What do you charge per panel? This is going to be controversial. I charge £17 per panel. And the reason I charge that much, that's quite a lot, by the way. Most people are charging between £5 and £10 per panel. I don't think the job's worth doing for that sort of money, personally. To do it properly, I mean, anyone can just get some pure water and give it a scrub and say they're clean, but I'm also accounting for those real stubborn ones that have a lot of heavy built-up lichen and moss. And to be honest, £10 per panel doesn't really cut it for me. I mean, if it's something like this, now even these, to be fair, I remember these ones, all these little tiny spots that you can't actually see from the ground. Why can't I zoom in? See these little tiny spots? You wouldn't see those from the ground, and I could run some pure water over this, give it a scrub, get the bottoms looking real nice, because these are just like aluminium frames or whatever they are, and they'd look great and they'd shine. But as soon as you get up close, you'd see all these little lichen spots, and you can't get rid of these without really scrubbing. Some of the worst ones we did, these were quite bad. Why can't I zoom? So the person that did these last, he did them from the ground. He literally stood in the garden with like a 35-40 foot pole and did them from the ground, and she said like he didn't, that they were shiny but they weren't clean because she could still see all the spots on them. And that's how they ended up after I'd finished, because we do a proper job here at Smelts Pressure Washing for any customers that are watching. So this was the house. So he stood in the garden. I've done it from above because I thought I can't put anything in front of this conservatory because I'm just not going to reach properly, and I want to do a proper job. So I got up there with the cat ladder and did it from above. There's these ones as well. These are some of the most recent ones we did. These were terrible. So when you come across jobs like this, which I'd say are probably 50% of solar panels, people aren't interested in having their solar panels cleaned when they already sort of look clean from the ground. It gets to the point where they look like this that you get a call, and for the cost of potentially having to set up a tower or harness yourself up on the top or get the cat ladders out and and the amount of time you're going to spend scrubbing. By the way, we've also found a new technique, which is we pre-wet all the panels to get everything soft, and then we go in with a nylon scraper like this. So all the stubborn bits, it's just an aluminium pole with a nylon scraper on the end. This is actually a Unger squeegee handle that fits on the end of this pole, and I've taken the metal bit off. I've taken the squeegee off it, and so it's just like a plastic scraper. But you can buy proper nylon scrapers. So everything's wet. One of us is going in with the scraper, and because it's nylon, it's plastic, it's not doing any damage like a metal one would. And that's how you get results like that. And I'm sorry, I'm just not doing this job for like £10 a panel. It's just not worth it. And then when you factor in, if you've got to rent a tower, or if you've bought a tower to do these sorts of jobs, you want to start making that money back. This is one of the ones that Callum pigeon proofed as well. There he is, our Jakey boy. Look at that. Beautiful. So yeah, that's why I charge £17 per panel, because it's a lot of hard work, and especially if you think, oh, I can do that from the ladder. I can do it from the ground. Like if I just get my ladder up there, you know, what does it take me to clean a window? Like 3 or 4 minutes? Probably take me like 5-10 minutes to clean each panel, maximum. And then actually realise when you're stood up at the top of a ladder with your little crow's feet hanging over the rung of the ladder while you're trying to do this and scrub all these liching spots, and you've barely got one clean, and 15-20 minutes has already passed. It's like, I've got another 15 left, what am I doing? You realise you've massively underpriced it, and it's taken probably 5 times longer than you expected. 0 crow's feet. Dauntless has got 0 crow's feet because he's just bought a ladder step, a little step that sits over the top rung of the ladder, which is genius. Dare I say, game-changing material. Good evening, Jake. Just bought a pressure washer with 3,100 psi, 10 litre flow rate. Would that be good for doing driveways and roof cleaning? I'd say so, yeah. The fact that it's 10 litres per minute means very often you'll be absolutely fine just plugging straight into the customer's tap, unless they've got absolutely terrible pressure. You'll be able to run your machine just from the customer's tap. When you get to the bigger machines, that's when you need to start getting like a buffer tank and stuff. So it's a really good starting point. Get yourself a turbo nozzle if you want to do stuff like block paving, but you'd be absolutely fine with that machine. To be honest, I wouldn't bother with looking into stuff like surface cleaners, like flat surface cleaners, unless it's like a really small one, like a 12 or a 14-inch surface cleaner for a patio. Don't bother trying to get a surface cleaner on block paving with a machine like that. And certainly don't bother getting like a big 16 or 18-inch surface cleaner, because it's just not going to spin fast enough and put out enough water to be able to clean a patio as efficiently as you could do with just a fan lance. But it's a very good starting point if it means you can just get out there and start cleaning stuff. Roof cleaning, I've not got any experience using a machine like that on roofs, but my understanding is that you don't need a hell of a lot of flow or pressure to clean a roof. You just need virtually enough to spin the surface cleaner or spin the turbo nozzle. You might want to ask someone else about that, to be honest. Can biocide just be left on like wet and forget, or do you have to wash it off? Most biocides, you leave it on, yeah. If you wash it off, it doesn't get a chance to absorb. Although some people say, I think Mike Tomlinson says, someone asked about, what about if I want to offer a biocide treatment but they've got pets? And he suggested, put it on. It takes less than 10 minutes to kill everything, and then wash it off. And you might not get the same sort of, these aren't his words, these are mine. You might not get the same sort of cleansing effects as what you'd have got if it had more time to absorb into the surface like days. But it's done its job within that first 10 minutes of killing anything organic on the surface by the time you've then washed it off and made it safe for the pets. But generally, yeah, leave the biocide on and try not to apply biocide if rain is due within like 6 to 12 hours, because depending on what sort of surface it is, it won't have time to absorb in. I charge £6 a panel on solar panels. I used the Equip to Clean solar panel brush, and man, it was hard graft. It should have been more like £10 to £12 a panel. Made the mistake of not going to see the job beforehand. Yeah, and generally with solar panels, it's like, how different can they be? If you've got a price per panel, then you don't really need to go and see them. It's sort of like gutter clearing. It's just like how many gutters have you got, like lengthwise. I can price it remotely, but it really does make a difference. Those liching spots and the bird poo and the moss and stuff does make a huge difference. Some of them are easy, and you can be in and out within half an hour. Some of them you'll be there for hours. If you want proper results. And those solar panel brushes, I've seen Squeaky Clean Dave using one. I can't tell if they're just a gimmick or you're pulling out all this extra equipment. You've still got just as much weight. And are they actually cleaning it more effectively than what I can do with just like a water fed pole and a brush? Because I'm going like this, scrubbing, and the liching's still not coming off, and it's the same brush, it's just spinning instead of me scrubbing. You know what I mean? I can't see how much more effective it's going to be. I think that's at that point you need like a little scraper. I have a big window round and easily got work to pay for my pressure washer, if that's easier. £8 grand spent on equipment, then I got 10 grand in of work easily. Okay. Are you saving your tax as well? Don't forget your 20%. Totally understand the pricing. Can you use caustic TFR? Everyone will tell you no, but in my opinion, the reason I used caustic TFR on stuff like this is because I didn't have pure water at the time, and the TFR that I use, the Drive Tech TFR, it leaves it streak free, looking like I've used pure water, and it obviously gives you the cleaning effects that TFR give you, and it does help along with the cleaning. So there's a lot of talk and misinformation about voiding warranties and stuff. You speak to anyone and they'll tell you something different. You can speak to 10 people about what they'd recommend for cleaning solar panels, and they'll all say something different, because I've asked like people in the industry, and I've asked suppliers and stuff, and they've all got something different to say. I used it because it leaves a streak-free finish and it makes them look really shiny, and the fact that I've washed it off, thoroughly rinsed it with just tap water, I would say that caustic TFR once in these panels' lifetime is absolutely fine. If I was cleaning these every year, I wouldn't be using caustic TFR on them. I'd maybe do the first one with caustic TFR to get them looking like this again, and then I'd maintain them next year with pure water, and I'd tell the customer, like, we need to keep on top of these because we don't want them looking like that again. So let me come back next year, do it with pure water, and it'll be much easier to clean and maintain. Just my 2 cents. Like I say, there's other people that will tell you differently. I think I can do that from my ladder. No worries, LC. I'm a window cleaner in Manchester. Work for someone and have my own bit. Just not 10 grand's worth. I am working on it though. I won't be working it anymore. Jake got in my head and now I hate window cleaning. I knew it. I knew you're posting all them pictures being a bit salty, thinking, God, he's right. We normally leave a rain gap, maximum of 1 hour for application. Never had an issue, touch wood, with that working time frame. To be honest, I've applied by a side when it's been spitting or when there's been rain forecast, like an hour or two later, and it's always done its job. Crock of crap, Jake. Which bit, Dino? I talk a lot of crap. You got to be more specific than that. I love window cleaning. Can be done anywhere, anytime, any weather, and plus we can only expand our services with our customer. It's very true. Yep. Although I don't know. When I heard the phrase "busy fool," that stuck in my head. And then when I thought about starting a window cleaning round, I thought that phrase seems relevant. It's a lot of work, a lot of moving about, a lot of setup and breakdown for each house. For like, it's not high ticket enough for me personally. Oh, the solar panel brush. Oh, you're not. Sorry, Dino. I thought you meant I was talking a load of crap. The solar panel brush was crap, was it? Does that mean you won't be using it again? That's the rotating brush from Equip to Clean, was it? Is it the double one or the single one? Oh, they haven't got the double one. I thought Dave Squeaky D had the double. Might have been this one. And also, isn't this one ran from a pressure washer? And I think the pressure from the water. So it is like a flat surface cleaner, because the jets, you can see the jets coming out at an angle. So it's like a flat surface cleaner with bristles. I've always been curious about pressure washing solar panels, because I saw H2O do like a big solar farm. I think it was up on a roof, but it was like a solar farm. Quite a few panels they were cleaning, and they were doing it with a pressure washer. And it looks effective, and it's probably going to be much quicker and much more, you know, if there's all those little bits of moss or in the frame and lichen spots and stuff, pressure washing it's gonna bring it right up. I just don't know how safe it is. Surely it can't be safe to, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do it really. I mean, something like this, you're spreading the pressure over 2 nozzles and it's probably far enough away from the panel where it doesn't matter. Don't know how I feel. Adjustable angle. That's the other thing I saw with Dave. I think he had to keep bringing it back in and adjusting it and sending it back out again, and it looked like it was taking him ages, just based on the video, but I don't know. Into the Wild, welcome. Oh, you got it up for sale, have you? The issue with bio in the rain is its uncontrolled runoff. It needs to absorb to the surface and dry. It will contaminate the rainwater and seep into the ground. That's the bit that's problematic. I used to buy pure water from Spotless for my occasional window jobs. Now I use the DI filter from Equip to Clean. It's just as good. Keep the flow low. Yeah, so I don't know if we've got the same one, Steve. But I'm quite a fan of mine. It's these ones here. I think I've got the 15 litre, the middle one there. And you basically just plug the customer's tap into the side of this, let it fill up. This one, it says that you need to run it through at around about 4 litres per minute. So you don't want the tap on full whack. Ideally, you want like a flow valve, like a flow meter. little cheap battery powered flow meter just to check how much water you're putting through it. But yeah, you fill it up with this resin. You have to obviously replace the resin every so often, but to have pure water on hand all the time that's not going to run out halfway through the job, I couldn't think of anything better. I don't understand, like after doing this, I don't understand why you'd fill your tank in your van with pure water, go out and do as many jobs as you can, and then inevitably you run out halfway through a job and then you have to go and fill up again. I don't understand the logic in that. I feel like you'd be much better off making it yourself, or in this case relying on the customer's water. I'm assuming this is like that there's other window cleaning setups that obviously do the job better, but if you're starting out, I think this is perfect. Dave bought one from China. Oh no, that was it. I think he was sponsored to do that video because I got the same email. I don't think he bought it, did he? They sent it to him in exchange for a video. I said I'll do a video, but it's going to cost you this much money. I think they wanted to just give me the product and have me do a video. I was like, nah. The pressure lifts it and it's so hard to control. Oh really? Sirius, welcome. I've just been watching Harry Potter. It's heavy as well. I've had a good Christmas. Also the product, it's basically dead within 10 minutes, and even soaking into the ground shouldn't be an issue as it's a dead product. Is that true? I thought Biocide hung around. I thought it was like hypo that becomes dormant after an hour. I thought Biocide stayed active. That'd be a bit of a... That would change things if that's not the case. For me, anyway. Pressure washing a solar panel will never be good as contact. Will never be as good as contact. I pressure wash my van and there's still film of dirt on there that can be removed with contact. Same as any smooth surface. Oh, that's true. Yeah, when you wash your van, if you were to then go over it with a scrubbing brush and some TFR or some shampoo or something, it comes up even better. So yeah, you make a real good point there. You've got the 20 quid, the little inline one. I wonder how long that one lasts. This one. I did look at this one as well. Presumably that's already got the resin in there. And it's like a disposable product. I just need a wee. I'll be back in a sec. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30. and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video. Right then, so yeah, me and Zach, essentially, the plan is now, over the next couple of weeks, going to do a huge marketing push. Got 2,000 leaflets ordered that I'm going to send Jakey out on specific areas. Might even print him off a map or something and just like circle the streets that I want him to get done. Just to keep him busy while we've got this kind of quiet period. I looked at door hangers for leaflets, but oh god, I've got this terrible acid reflux. Horrible. We had a little chat about it in the Discord. You know, these little door hangers. These things. But I think it was, yeah, Matt mentioned about it can be classed as trespassing and advertising on people's property because it's facing away from the property and advertising back towards the road or something. And then Daz says about they can fall off, and then Washi said they were banned due to allowing burglars to know when you're not at home, and the mess they make when it's windy or rainy, you'll be getting calls to come clean them up. So I opted against the door hanger leaflets. So 2,000 standard leaflets. I'm going to do some posts over the next few days on just local Facebook groups, just to say sort of Happy New Year. I might even just post my leaflets, to be honest. I might just post these. Very simple. I think that's just as good as any sort of Facebook post, really. Nice and clear. Couple of local Facebook groups, see what happens. I'm going to be boosting. I'm going to try boosting. Basically, what I'm saying is I've never spent money on advertising or marketing, pretty much at all, apart from my website, apart from hosting my website. And so what I thought I'd do, this is a great opportunity now that I'm potentially bringing Zach on board. Let's see how much work we can actually generate from trying, rather than allowing it just to come in organically and allowing it just to come in from posting me before and after pictures and stuff and just staying active. Why don't I actually see what, now that I've got a good foundation, good reviews, lots of reach, lots of before and after pictures and videos and stuff. Now that I've got a solid foundation, why don't I start actually pushing some marketing now and paying for some, boost some Facebook Reels and have Zach look into potentially running some Google ads. Update the website. I need to update the website a little bit to sort of target more commercial stuff, because I said to myself, I'm going to have a website just in case I have like industrial and commercial jobs come in and they'll want to see a website basically. And so in the beginning here, you can see I'm targeting it. I mean, the main picture doesn't really do it, but I'm targeting commercial. That was my logic when I built a website, because I thought I hadn't built a website until over a year in, by the way. So I thought I don't need one. Everything I'm doing is like social media stuff. That's the sort of demographic I'm targeting. But then since I made a website, I was still getting a lot of residential stuff from people filling out my contact form. So that was quite surprising. But also the reason I made the website is to target more commercial stuff, now that I'm equipped to deal with commercial work. And actually, I haven't really designed the website to look very commercially orientated. Like the first image, maybe, And then these lot, not so much. This one's pretty good, I suppose, for like a commercial job. This one's pretty good. So maybe I need to do like a minor overhaul and just make it look more more like what I wanted it to look like when I first started designing it. Zach's sending loads of emails out. He's just been beavering away on his own. Just he's got a list of libraries, email addresses for libraries. He's sent out 230 emails to local libraries. He's got a list of pubs, and he said a good little nugget for your audience. He said, heavily investigate your local council's website and contact everyone/everything that could potentially provide them work. He's been doing freedom of information requests. All the information's accessible to the public, but you've got to find it. You've got to ask for it. And he's just digging, basically. He's digging deep for to try and generate some work. Because I need to be able to justify his wage. You know what I mean? If he's gonna join, and I'm gonna start paying him. Like, I don't need me, Jakey, and my brother. So if he wants to come in and work with us, it needs to be like, well, can he bring in 2 or 3 grand a month extra to the business to justify him, you know? And if he can, great. Absolutely happy to have him on board. But if we're just going to keep plodding along at the same pace and not doing anything extra, then there's no point really. Because I'd just be sort of hemorrhaging money from the business just to be able to pay him. But we've got lots of plans, so. And I really want to look into the repointing side of things, because I think we could make a lot of money there. And it just lends itself to like YouTube content and before and afters, and it's just like, it would make for such good videos if we were mainly doing the repointing. Evening, Lindsay. Does anyone know if you can drink pure water from the DI tank? I don't know. Jakey drank it recently and he said it tasted horrible. I use it 2 or 3 times a month and replace it every few months. If I need to use it more, I'll buy one you have, but I don't need it currently. Yeah. The product isn't dead after 10 minutes. It stays active. You should never let it into any water system. Not dead, but exhausts itself as a product fairly quickly. You are correct in regards to letting it get into any water system. Get your van heaters ready for winter. Dropping from Wednesday. I will be gritting for at least 10 nights. Serious, that's really impressive that like you've managed to generate some gritting work. That's very niche, very cool. But yeah, you're right. It's Wednesday night onwards. It's going to go down to minus temperatures. So good point. Well made. Make sure everyone's getting your heaters in your van and your frost protection ready. Bio remains active for months depending on the surface. The reason is basically some houses take 2 minutes to set up. The DI vessel would take to set up. The DI vessel would take half the time. Yeah. Please, could you link any source / information on this? I'd like to read up on it. I'm in the Discord if you want. Need to add water-fed pole to the equipment early in the new year. Any recommendations? Jeff. I'm not sure if you've seen our recent live stream giveaways. But the chap from CleanLink has started his exterior cleaning business recently, I believe. Or that might be wrong. I think he's been going for a while, but he joined the Discord. And he started bringing some water-fed poles in from overseas. And these are some of the cheapest water-fed poles you'll find. They're full carbon fibre. And he's not charging VAT on them at the minute. So these are these are a pretty good deal. So if you're looking for sort of cheap and cheerful, and I mean, mine's brilliant. I've got the 30-foot one, and it's fantastic. It's better than my CLX. You could also go for a gardener, like a CLX or an SLX. The CLX they're really bendy, to be fair. I've got a CLX 22, and it's carbon composite, so it's got some fiberglass in there as well. Really good pole. Comes with the brush, so the clean link doesn't come with any additionals. It's just got this, is it a Euro thread? I don't know what that thread's called at the top, but that'll screw onto most generic adapters and brushes and stuff. But the gardener poles, when you order one, it comes with the brush and the adapters and everything you need, and the jets and the hose. You can spec it to have like 10 meters of hose with it as well. So this is what I started with, CLX 22. And when I was upgrading, because I needed something longer and stiffer, don't we all? I was looking at the SLX 30. I was looking at. So you can see with this one, it's 355 quid plus VAT, compared with 275 quid. So there's a bit of a difference, but again, this one doesn't come with the brush or the hose, or I mean, by the time you've put a hose on this, to be fair, it'd be a little bit more expensive as well. But those are my two. This is the experience that I've got. So I've got a clean link and I've got a CLX. I'm sure there's other people in the chat that will recommend other poles that are probably just as good. Sort of depends how much money you want to spend in it. You ever considered SEO, Jake? There's certainly things I could do to optimize my website at the minute that I'm just not doing. Just things like the images, like all the images on the website. These are all just file names instead of being called like roof cleaning image, gutter clearing image, pressure washing image. Like, I've heard that optimizing stuff like that can help bring people to your page, and certain keywords throughout the website and stuff can move you higher up in the Google rankings and stuff. I think someone did a test recently in the live stream where they typed in like pressure washing Redditch or pressure washing Midlands or something. I won't do it on here because I've got like cookies and stuff, so I'll be at the top of the list regardless, because I've clicked on my content recently. But they hadn't Googled me before, or they hadn't Googled pressure washing in Redditch before, and I was like first or second on the list. I think, I can't remember which, without optimizing anything. So I'm already pretty high up there. So I've not. I think it's mainly because of all my videos and Facebook content, and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. So it's happening sort of kind of organically as it is. I'm sure there's ways I could optimize it, but maybe that's something I'll look into. You're right. Clean links in the chat. Working on brushes. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I say it is because that's, as a customer, that's something that I'd look at. Is like, oh, I've got to get the pole from here, and then I've got to go elsewhere to get the brushes, and will they fit? And it's like a little bit more annoying to have to buy from two places, paying delivery and all that sort of stuff. So, but you can't do everything at once. It's a fairly new website, and it's I can't imagine running an online store. I did look into it, but I even thought about someone messaged me today on Facebook and said, I've cancelled my membership to your Discord, but I've been charged another month even though I've cancelled. I don't know what happened, whether he'd cancelled too late and it auto renewing was already set up or whatever. But like, that's a YouTube issue. That's like YouTube billing cycles that you don't sign when you sign up to become a member of my Discord. You're not paying me, you're paying YouTube. And so that issue is with them to resolve, luckily, because I thought, God, if I had to deal with stuff like that, if I was taking payments directly and people were constantly messaging me with like technical issues, or they haven't received their delivery on time, or they ordered a product and it was like the wrong color when it arrived or something, or wrong variation, or not happy with the product, I've got a complaint, I'd like a refund, and they have to send it back and you've got to organise a courier. I couldn't imagine having to deal with all that. That'd be just mind-numbing. Because I bet you'd have constant issues. I mean, that's just my opinion. Obviously, there's other people that thrive in that environment and they make it work and they do a real good job. But I feel like you've got to have people in place to deal with that sort of stuff, like one person on the phones, one person on customer services, one person on the emails, just to be able to delegate all those different responsibilities. Happy to test them for you, CleanLink. I like your website style. I'll be adjusting mine to suit yours. Oh, really? Thanks, Chris. You think it's good, do you? I like the home landing page where it's just like service after service after service with some decent pictures. There's obviously lots that could be improved, but... And then with the gutter clearing, it's like step by step, like we'll inspect it, we'll clear the gutters, we can do gutter clearing at height. We send you the before and after pictures so you can see it's been done. We can wash your faces and soffits. We do the minor repairs if needed. So I sort of take the customer through it step by step. And then I do the same with the roof cleaning as well. It's like we do the initial inspection to make sure there's no damage. We decide with you which service you'd like, whether it's roof scraping or pressure washing. And then I explain both services, chemical treatment, ongoing maintenance. And then just a gallery of images at the bottom where they can have a scroll through. Yeah, I like my website, I suppose. It's just not what I had in mind when I first thought about designing it. These solar panel pictures could be better. Those could definitely be better. I like this one of Callum. That one's a cute one. Nice and friendly. Right, what have I missed, you bunch of sausages? Welcome, Craig. What pressure washer do you recommend for starting out? The best one you can afford. Set yourself a budget and then go into a reputable supplier. And what I mean by that is go onto my website, smelt.club, click on my trusted suppliers and pick from any one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 people supply pressure washers. Gutter vacuum systems are more for obviously gutter vacuums, but they do also do pressure washers. But if you want a tailored experience that they can customize things to suit your type of work, or you want like a van mounted machine, or you want it set up a specific way, Rutland Pumps, AC Pressure Washers, PWS and Pressure Washer Sales and Service will all have you covered. Smelt.club. What I mean, that sounds like a sort of like a cop-out answer, and I'm sorry it's not. I can't point you to one machine. But there's so many different types of machines out there. I'd say go for a petrol. If I was going to recommend, let's try and recommend a machine, and let's not think too much about budget, but I would go for a, we're on the Rutland Pumps website at the minute, and I've just picked a random website to look at. I would go for a machine like this on a trolley with wheels, and I'd go for ideally an electric start. So you'll find with these Vanguard Briggs and Stratton engines, you can get an electric start for the same price as you can get a Honda with like a similar power output. So a 15 litre per minute electric start Vanguard, 1855, whereas that's that doesn't really make my point there, does it? That might have been Darren's prices, actually. I think Darren's prices reflected that quite well. Can't remember, actually. So 15250, 15250. So basically, the one you want is either... No, you can't. It's not that cut and dry. See, it's so hard to just recommend one machine. You've got the Vanguard 15 litre per minute, or most people would recommend that you just go straight for the 21 litre per minute machine. You'll probably want like 15 or 20 meters of hose. The fittings are down to your personal preference. And I like the idea of going from a very small machine and working your way up to a big one. You get to see which fittings and stuff work for you, and which types of triggers you like and all that sort of stuff. I like the upgrade process. It's just more expensive in the long run. Or you could, if you don't want to spend this sort of money, you could. So what I was going to say, Vanguard, Briggs and Stratton, 15 or 21 litre per minute, or you could go for the Honda GX 390, 15 or 21 litre per minute, and then the cost generally is in all the extras and stuff. Or you could go for the PWS. They've just announced a new machine. Is it going to be on here? I don't know if it's on the website yet. I can't see it. They've just announced a machine for about $1,000, I think. Return to tank bypass and some decent fittings on it and stuff. So you might want to have a look on their Facebook page or their Instagram. It's difficult to just recommend one machine, I'm afraid. What happened with your barber? Looks like COVID hair. There's nothing wrong with my hair. Why has 2 people commented on my hair tonight? It's just long. There's nothing wrong with it. My hair's different every time you see me. Sometimes I'll have it down like this. Sometimes I'll have it brushed back. Just relax, will you? Did you start out of your car or out of a van? And if it's a car, what sort of insurance increase did you see adding a business use? That's a valid question, but I can't remember. I started out of the back of my girlfriend's Toyota RAV4 4x4. Adding business, I already had business use because I was working for the council using my own vehicle, going around to customers' houses and stuff, so I already had business use, but I'm sure it adds about 200 or 300 quid. But I was fairly young, so it's hard to say, mate. List of people Jake hates: window cleaners, customer service staff. It's not true. I gave up my online shop because it was a nightmare dealing with suppliers, customers and couriers. What was you doing, Daz? What sort of online shop did you have? What cameras have you got for gutter clearing? I just use my phone. I get up there with a ladder and use my phone. I like your website. I think it's a good format. I use GoDaddy for mine, and it's easy to attach a sum up booking system and attach reviews. Oh, a sum up booking system. I'll have to have a look at that. Mine's GoDaddy as well. Hi mate, I was wondering about the giveaway on the 23rd of December for the rinse down nozzles. I don't expect they're out for delivery yet due to Christmas and New Year's coming, but I thought I'd ask. I haven't posted them. Be sure, I'm sorry. I needed this little nudge, I'm sorry. I've forgotten. It's a busy time of year. I've been doing other stuff, but I will. What day is it tomorrow? It's New Year's Day tomorrow, isn't it? I could have done it today, but we went up to the bull ring instead and did a Build-A-Bear. I will post them as soon as I'm physically able. Sorry for the delay. Skip the 15 litre per minute machine and go straight to the 21. Don't you dare load up the website that has a 2 in the middle. We've already done it, mate. It's already been and gone. Your hair's lovely, they're jealous. I used to sell airgun tuning parts and accessories. That's pretty niche. Sounds cool. Might be because of my age, but I operate out of a car. Normal insurance was like 170 quid a month, and then with the business insurance it's like 400 quid a month. Jeez. Oof. I wouldn't be paying that. I'd get a bicycle and a little trailer. Guys, I'm going to leave it there just because my son is waiting to come to bed and I'm in his bedroom, and he's not normally with me on a Monday, but this time of year calls for slightly different activities. So backward be in bits. Thank you so much for watching. Don't be silly, mate. No need to be sorry. I'm still happy I won. Only wondered as I had a job over the weekend where it would have been perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. They're right here. They haven't moved from this desk. I'm sorry. It's not a scam, I promise. I will send them. No worries, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it was just a short stream. We've only done about just over an hour and a half, but needs must. That's your bedroom, let's be fair. It's not, I promise. Right, see you guys. Have a lovely New Year. Catch you on the next one. Goodbye. Hopefully get a video out soon.